Hello everyone and welcome to the lecture on Amazon Translate. So this lecture will contain all these topics. What is Amazon Translate? Use cases, real-time translation, batch job. So what is Amazon Translate? Amazon Translate is a text translation service that utilizes advanced machine learning technologies to deliver high quality on-demand translation. The service offers two primary use cases: translating unstructured text documents and enabling the development of applications that functions across multiple languages. And apart from that, these two, there are other integrations also. So you load the translate documents into S3 and you can trigger translation tasks onto the Lambda. So as soon as through API or console you have submitted a job, you can also trigger some Lambda function, and also it will expose some translation API through API gateway. So all these are possible through Amazon Translate. So let's see the use cases. So first, it can enable multilingual user experiences in your applications by integrating Amazon Translate. You can translate company authored content such as meeting of minutes, technician reports, knowledge base articles, posts, and more. You can translate interpersonal communications such as email, in-game chat, customer service chat, so that customers and employees can connect in their preferred language. Next, you can process and manage your company's incoming data. You can analyze those texts such as social media and news feeds in many languages. So let's say your company is active and they are it's a very popular company and people are commenting in the various languages, and you want to have a sentiment about how the company is doing sentiment wise in certain country. So they will be commenting in their own local language. So you can plug in through APIs, let's say Twitter and all something. You can actually gauge the sentiment about your company. And you can search for information such as e-discovery cases in many languages. So I'll be covering which all languages are supported. And thirdly, you can have different integrations. So first is enable language independent processing by integrating Amazon Translate with other AWS services. So you can extract named entities, sentiment, and key phrases from unstructured text such as social media streams with Amazon Comprehend. So Amazon Comprehend does natural language processing. So based on that, once you have captured that, you can translate. So if it's in some other language, then you can translate it to English, and then you can do some aggregation. Then you can make subtitles and live captioning available in many languages with Amazon Transcribe. So transcribe is speech to text. So first, if it's a spoken audio, you have to first convert it to a text. So speech to a text using transcribe. And if it is in some other language, then after that you can plug in translate to basically see the text in English. Then you can speak translated content with Amazon Poly. So once you have done that, you can plug in Poly. So translate from, let's say somebody has spoken in Japanese, you convert from Japanese to English. First you transcribe it and convert it to Japanese text, and then text is converted to English translation text, and then Poly can speak out using text to speech. Then you can translate document repositories stored in Amazon S3. Let's say if all the documents are in S3, you can translate text stored in the following databases: Amazon DynamoDB, Amazon Aurora, and Amazon Redshift. And you can seamlessly integrate workflows with AWS Lambda or AWS Glue. And these are all the languages which are supported. So you can pause the screen if you want to, if you're interested in checking out a specific language. But based on my counting, there's it's currently 75 languages, but this may be added more. But as of this recording, there's 75 languages. So how Amazon Translate works? So you use translate service to translate content from a source language, which is the language of the input content, to a target language, which is the language that you have selected for the translation output. In a batch job, you can translate files from one or more source languages to one or more target languages. So you can have many to many. Then supported formats for input content. Amazon Translate supports the following formats for the input content. For real-time translation, you have plain text in UTF-8 format, and Amazon Translate provides the output content as also in UTF-8. So one input file, a file a file containing plain text, which can be in TXT, HTML, or Word, which is docx content. Amazon Translate provides the output content as a file in the same format as the input file. For batch translation jobs, it's a collection of input files. So one or more files that you upload to Amazon S3 location. Supported file formats include plain text, HTML, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Excel if 1.2, which is extension is .xlf. And Amazon Translate provides the output content as files. The file format for each output file matches the input file format. So you can customize your translations. So you can use the following features to customize the translations that you produce with Amazon Translate. So first feature is there is a do not translate tags, and you can use start and end tags to specify content you don't want to translate. So this is possible in HTML content. So basically, let's say a certain section is there and you do not want to translate, you just put a tag around that content and it will not get translated, others will get translated. You can have custom terminology, and you can define how you want Amazon Translate to translate specific terms such as brand names. You have this feature called brevity. It will reduce the length of translation output for most translations compared to the translation output without brevity. Brevity is supported for real-time text translations. So brevity is basically, it will shorten the output translated content. Then there is a profanity feature. It will mask profane words and phrases in your translation output. Next feature that you can customize is formality. You can set the level of language formality in your translation output. And lastly, you can customize the parallel data feature. It will adapt the translation output to reflect the style, tone, and word choices in the example translation samples that you provide. So you want to match certain style, tone, or something. First, you have to provide some example, like how the translated content should look like, and it will try to match the specific style, tone, and word which is provided in the examples. Then there is automatic language detection. So Amazon Translate can automatically detect the language used in your source text. To use automatic language detection, you specify auto as the source language, or you just specify the language. If you are sure, like if you know, sorry, not sure, if you know, you just provide, but if in case you don't know, you just put auto. Let's say you are, let's say in my previous example, let's say you are doing a sentiment analysis through Twitter about your company. So you don't know from, based on the feed input, you don't know which language was used. So you use a set auto. So it will automatically figure out what is the input language. So Amazon Translate calls Amazon Comprehend on your behalf to determine the language used in the source text. By choosing automatic language detection, you agree to the service terms and agreements for Amazon Comprehend. So indirectly it will use Amazon Comprehend because there is a feature in that to automatically detect the language. Okay, now exception handling. So if you specify a source or target language that is not supported, Amazon Translate returns the following exception. 1. Unsupported language pair exception. So Amazon Translate supports translation between all supported languages. This exception is written if either the source language or target language is unsupported. So basically it supports most of the pair of source and target, but just in case if it's not there, it will throw this exception. Second one is detected language low confidence exception. So if you use automatic language detection and Amazon Translate has low confidence that it detected the correct source language, it returns this exception. If a low confidence level is acceptable, you can use the source language returned in the exception. So this may be possible if the two languages are very similar and it has difficulty in, so it will give a confidence score, like how much it's sure that it has figured out correctly. Okay, this is an example like how to do a real-time translation. So we are using CLI, which in turn will actually call the API. So we just have AWS translate text. So service name and operation, then region, source language, target language in this case is Spanish, and text which you want to give. So you can do same, but in this case we are using a JSON file as the input. So this is the JSON file, source and target language from English to French. And then you just say the file, and we are just outputting it, redirecting the output which comes back to one more file that will also be JSON. So this will, after finishing that, you will see this file which will look something like this. And if you have a batch job, how you do is you call a different operation. Service name is same, but start text translation job, then input data config, the content type. So in this case, I think we are giving spreadsheet, so Excel file, and we have to give the S3, and we have to do output data config where we want to output, and here there's some role which it will be using to basically have whether to have necessary permissions and all. So basically it has to fetch input and output, right? So that permissions will be in this role, and then you have to give from which language to which language. So in this case we are giving 2 target languages, and you just give a job name. So this you will see in the console if you want to track it later. And that's all. Thanks for watching.